Good evening, everyone. I had something important to tend to tonight. Otherwise, I would have done this video sooner. And this is an important video I couldn't have foreseen myself making yesterday. However, great YouTuber Adam Martyn, you may know him, does a lot of videos on the current state of TV, videos on different parts of TV history, like ITV strikes and the introduction of colour TV in different countries, did a video this evening on how he thinks that children's programming on traditional TV might be on its way out. What the fuck? No disrespect intended towards Adam Martyn. He's a great guy. But having just watched his video, I found myself calling bullshit on the news reports he's been citing. Not because I deny truth in them, for the most part, but it's clear that entertainment in recent years has largely become throwaway garbage, and a lot of it is only available in places many people wouldn't think to look. I get it. CITV closed early this month, and we were given about half a year's notice of its closure, and a lot of kids these days do use tablet computers a lot, whether iPads, Samsung Galaxies or whatever, but it's clear something's missing. What happened to tuning into your favourite show once you arrive home from school? What happens to watching a movie or anything as a family? How come whenever a really good show, like Hilda or The Owl House comes along, many 6 to 12-year-olds don't give a shit and choose to instead watch bottom-of-the-barrel nonsense like Horrid Henry? How is it that the cream of the crop shows from our childhoods, like Fireman Sam and Thomas the Tank Engine, have gotten modern retoolings not just bad, but as bad as they are? Seriously, All Engines Go makes Peppa Pig look like a small film's masterpiece. I'm in no position to do any really deep research. If I did, we'd be here all night. But from what I recall hearing in recent years, the BBC want to become online only, meaning that when they moved BBC Three online in 2016, they were laying down the foundations for something even worse, and showing serious symptoms of MTV syndrome in the process. ITV don't care about kids programming anymore, not just because they closed CITV, but also because they relied heavily on Horrid Henry from 2006 to the mid-2010s, axed preschool programming, and only launched Little B in 2018 due to pressure from advertisers, and not long before the CITV channel launched in 2006, they cut how much CITV was on the main ITV channel. Also, because they all but completely stopped producing in-house kids programming in the 2000s. The BBC still seemed to be prospering with new in-house kids shows, but they almost always tell you to watch them on iPlayer rather than look out for them on the CBBC or even the CBeebies channels. Wouldn't you rather be able to watch your favourite show even if you're facing an internet outage? Wouldn't you rather be able to choose something to watch straight away rather than go through menu after menu of shows, many of which are likely shit? Don't you miss being able to record shows to a VHS tape or a DVD so you'll still have them even if they stop rerunning and or your recording device gives up the ghost? Furthermore, the streaming market has gotten too saturated. There are too many streaming services today, not just Netflix, Prime Video and Disney Plus, but there's also Paramount Plus, Discovery Plus, Apple TV Plus, Lionsgate Plus, Tiger Studio Plus, Epic Waterfall Plus, and whatever else there is these days. It's likely you only have Lionsgate Plus because you won a month's subscription in the McDonald's monopoly. Not everyone can afford to subscribe to Netflix, Disney Plus, etc. all at once. And while there are free streaming services like Kidoodle or whatever, a lot of their programming is throwaway garbage and sometimes misleading. By downloading the Kidoodle app, you might think that you'll be able to watch full Paw Patrol episodes for free, but in reality they only have short-form stuff from this IP, like sing-alongs and whatever else. Then there's the matter of a really good kids show coming along, whether it's an epic adventure like Hilda or The Owl House, a comedy series with really good jokes like The Ghost and Molly McGee or Kif, or a really well thought up educational show like Alva's World, yet children in the target age group either can't find them or just ignore them completely. I almost never hear any 6 to 12-year-olds talking about those genuine masterpieces, at least here in Britain, and they mostly seem to watch whatever shit is on YouTube these days. And don't get me started on how many times I've seen Horrid Henry and Johnny Test trending on Netflix. Also, how the fuck is Peppa Pig still going when after nearly 20 years, that show's original fans are now most likely working their first jobs? How the fuck are they still churning out more episodes than you could possibly watch in your lifetime? Then there's Cocomelon. What the fuck? Children's TV is in a dire place at the moment. Really good stuff like Hilda, The Owl House and Alva's World is almost completely ignored by children in the target age groups. Mass-produced shit like Peppa Pig, Horrid Henry and Cocomelon continue to be among the most watched kids shows in the present day, and many parents don't seem to care. Entertainment's gotten too corporate, and restructuring needs to happen so our kids can easily access better quality stuff. To assume preschoolers only deserve Peppa Pig and Cocomelon is like claiming adults only deserve Brickleberry and Mr. Pickles. If you try to get your little one into Thomas the Tank Engine through the original 5 pre-Gullane seasons, narrated by Ringo Starr, and from season 3, the late Michael Angelis, there's a good chance he or she will love them as much as we did. You do not need to turn to All Engines Go. That Thomas reboot is the product of Thomas getting in the hands of corporate assholes who think kids need their entertainment to not be realistic at all. More importantly, even if you do rely on streaming for much of your TV habits, there's always the likelihood of whatever show you're watching being taken off the service it's on, meaning you can't watch it anymore. Has Netflix been your means of watching Code Lyoko? Too bad, it's being taken off Netflix in a few days. Disney and Paramount have even been removing their own in-house content from their own streaming services. Disney owned the show Chicken Squad. It was available to watch on Disney Plus, but isn't anymore, despite it being one of their own shows. Had the linear Disney Junior channel still been broadcasting to this day, instead of closing in 2020, you could have been able to record episodes onto your Sky Plus, Sky Q, or Virgin box and still be able to watch them as a result. I'm burning out, so I'm going to keep this as brief as I can. There is still a place for kids' shows on linear TV. Phasing out linear TV is like trying to phase out wheels on new cars, but what's important is doing what's best for your viewers rather than what's best for you. If you want to join your kids in watching their favourite shows, you deserve to have them on the big flat screen TV in your living room, rather than have them just on your kids' tablets. Why try getting your little one into Thomas through All Engines Go when I'm sure he or she will enjoy pre-Ghislaine Thomas as much as you did? Why let your school-age kid rely on throwaway YouTube shit when I'm sure he or she will find well-made cartoons like Hilda and the Owl House really engaging and get proper laughs out of Molly McGee and Kiff? What's this I hear? Our government are not properly funding new kids programming? What do I expect? Our Tory government are getting more and more corrupt, and Keir Starmer's Labour are offering no alternative at all. What's this I also hear? The ban on junk food advertising on kids' TV is causing broadcasters to have less money to spend on kids' programming. Such a ban should never have been implemented in the first place. It's clearly not reducing obesity at all. You can cut down all the flowers, but spring will still come. Banning junk food advertising before 9 p.m, something I already did a video on, will only lead to broadcasters having less money to spend on even more programming. You want to encourage young people to live healthy lifestyles? There are better, more effective ways to do so. And you can still remind them that the occasional treat is perfectly fine. Yes, I am well aware of the new online safety bill, and that streaming services will soon face regulation from Ofcom, but that's all clearly our government going full dictator on us. The online safety bill won't make us safe. It will reduce our freedom to express ourselves online, and the NSPCC championing it is another sign that they do not care about kids, only the money they can make off their suffering. Netflix, being regulated by Ofcom, is only becoming a thing so that stuff like the Harry and Meghan docuseries wouldn't be allowed. The Tories clearly do not want us seeing anything that makes them or the royals look bad. Like Ofgem, Ofcom are not fit for purpose. How the fuck did it take them this long to finally make GB News face their wrath? GB News shouldn't have been allowed to launch in the first place. Had Thatcher never been re-elected, we wouldn't have had that 1990 Broadcasting Act that made ITV into a complex game of Monopoly, making existing franchises pay more to keep broadcasting, causing some franchises to lose their licenses to newcomers, and even allowing franchises to buy other franchises, and eventually make ITV just one soulless company, showing serious symptoms of MTV syndrome and relying almost only on Coronation Street and overhyped shameless reality shows. We have to fight for a better future. We need to force the Tories out of government and make sure we do not get another Brexiteer like Keir Starmer or Ed Davey in number 10. Make sure you join Stop Starmer and Transform Politics and be part of the fight for a Britain that works for everyone. Links in the description. This corrupt system was built by people. It can be destroyed by people. They always say change is impossible until the change actually happens. The BBC clearly need a new boss, someone who is not in the pockets of the Tories and actually cares about the 99%. ITV, however, needs to be shut down completely. I also really want Channel 4 to enter the kids' TV space, and I hope STV and S4C are at least considering launching their own kids' channels. Either way, Britain is in a shit place right now. We need to put things right.